I can introduce the second bill while we're looking for. It's also sponsored by Representative Diaz. It's House Bill 5294. It's an act related to criminal offenses, explosives, and fireworks. It limits the sale of fireworks to 1 week prior to and including the 4th of July, and may only be used, exploded, or caused to explode between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, I can. Representative Diaz,
thank you so much.
Both bills are in play. You can pick which one you want to go with first.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you to the Judiciary Committee. I appreciate the opportunity. And please allow me to explain the genesis of this bill. The year prior to the COVID, residents in Providence, many areas maybe, experienced the most difficult time after the Memorial Day. The fireworks, illegal fireworks that some individuals enjoy in the neighborhood break the peace and the comfort for so many people, elderly people, sick people who just wanted to enjoy, to be at home, and they couldn't do anything because those fireworks was playing to late night all over the city. The police department was facing very difficult time because sometimes those noises confused with guns, sounds like a gun, and they were unable to identify or separate the sounds or the fireworks. And neighbors approached to me and asking me if I can do something. So with that in mind, we don't want to interfere with the pleasure to enjoy fireworks. I like to celebrate 4th of July, to use it when it's necessary, but without disrupting the peace of people around others. You know, when you do that, you don't disrupt things, you don't make any difficult time for others, it's fine. Also, for the safety of some kids that having access to illegal fireworks that are contain too much explosives. The intention to reducing the time is just narrow it to the time that we prepare to dealing with the fireworks. So in any way, I don't want to be labeled that I want to interfering with the businesses that are selling those fireworks that are not too dangerous for those who decided to enjoy. So, through doing this, I wanted the members to understand that my intention is just to bring peace and safety to the residents of the city of Providence. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. And as the chairman stated, the bill only will limit the use more than anything, and also reinforce the need or use legal fireworks. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of the sponsor? Yes, Representative, please.
Representative Diaz, just a question. The committee recommended passage of Dr. Corvasi's Bill 5039, dealing with fireworks as well, limiting their use from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm just wondering, does that legislation cover the concerns of your constituents? I mean, your legislation definitely goes beyond, at least as I read it, goes beyond what Dr. Corvasi's legislation does. So I'm just curious if the legislation this committee recommended be passed tonight would meet the concerns of your constituents.
Well, it's some conversation that we need to bring to the table, but I need to check with my constituents. If that time is okay, but the experience in my neighborhood is for hear all those fireworks all night long from evening to next day, most of the time, especially weekend. So I need to have the conversation with Reg Corbasi to see how we can combine the two bills or figure it out how we can work together. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I believe that Dr. Corvasi's here, and we may be able to figure it out right now. Dr. Corvasi.
Caucus Chair Diaz, how are you today?
Happy to hear you, Doc.
I like your bill very much, and you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I think you and I can work together between the bill that passed tonight and your legislation. After you talk to your constituents, get back to me, and we'll sit down and talk, and perhaps there's some synthesis we can agree on.
I'm happy to do that, especially because I know your good intention when you bring bills in front of us, and I'm more than happy to work with you to figure it out what is the best for our islanders.
Be my pleasure. Be my pleasure, Representative Diaz.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further questions, Representative Diaz, I have to ask the clerk a question. Is Carolyn Murray just written testimony, or does she wish to be called?
No, she wishes to be called.
Oh, okay. Then Carolyn Murray is the only person that signed up for this bill, so you can put her on.
We can agree on.
Caroline?
I'm happy to.
Yes.
Bob Craven, how are you?
Mr. Chairman, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Now that we get that out of the way, you're live on the air testifying before the House Judiciary Committee, so we await your words of wisdom.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and members of the committee. This is Carolyn Murray. I'm representing the American Promotional Events. I've signed up in opposition to H5294, but I oppose it as it's currently written. Today I had a good conversation with the sponsor about the concerns we have with the bill. Our client sells legal, ground-based, and handheld products here in Rhode Island, and this legislation as it's written may unintentionally impact our ability to continue to sell our products. I look forward to working with Representative Diaz on her intent of the legislation while also addressing our concerns. So I will be in touch with her, and I thank you for your time tonight.
Great. Any questions for Carolyn Murray? Seeing none, that concludes testimony on House Bill 5294.